everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to take a look at the Suqqu Pre-Summer collection. I already have a video with this up where I went over the entire collection. That was when it launched at Selfridges. This will also launch at Liberty London and Harrods on the 21st, so hopefully this goes up right before that. In that other video, I focused on the blues and the greens. Today, we're going to focus on the purples and the peaches. So we are going to use I think this is the 113, yeah, 113 eyeshadow quad. We're going to use the gloss in 111, which is the more lavender, cool toned gloss instead of the green gloss that we used last time. And we'll also use the ombre blush. This is 131 pure color blush in the lavender slash. I'd say this is like almost like a cool ice kind of shade for highlighter. So if you're interested in all that, just stay tuned. So hi everyone, I have the Suqqu liquid foundation on today. I've already put that on. I also used the Suqqu Glow Primer. It has an SPF of 10. I had a little sample of it that came with a lot of my products. So we're seeing how that works. I like the Suqqu liquid foundation, but I like the cream one better. The liquid is a little, it's skin-like and it actually looks nice. But for me, I think it dries out my skin a little. Well, it doesn't dry out my skin. It accentuates that my skin is dry. How's that? I still like it, but I like the cream. I like the cream formulation more. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna put a little bit of lip balm on my lip. This is the by Terry, the Balm de Rose. I finally found it. It's like got like nothing left in it. I need to go get more. I need to buy more. Okay, so yeah, my brows. I don't have much on my brows. I have a little bit of the Suqqu powder. It was a limited edition for Auburn. Doesn't exist anymore. Thanks again to Gita for picking that up for me. So I decided we wouldn't do it on camera. I'm going to use the Suqqu palette. This is the blush palette in 103 for bronzer. This is available. I mentioned it last time. And I used a couple different shades. These two shades, just interchangeably, depending on what I'm, trying to do as like a bronzer shade for me. I think it works really well as a bronzer shade, but I don't think Suqqu has a bronzer, like specifically bronzer. I don't think that exists. They do have a highlighting powder that's coming out for summer, which I do plan to pick up. The summer collection, I believe it's May 13th. At least that's what's stuck in my head. That date might not be correct. I will correct it down below. But it also could be that it's changing because when with these launches, sometimes they do change. I've mentioned that about the Chanel tweeds. At first I thought it was going to be much sooner. I thought it was going to be like March, and then I heard May, and now I have no idea. So, I think it's May 13th, but that could be incorrect. Okay, so let's take the Suqqu. This is, like I said, the 131, beautiful like lavender kind of thing. I'm using a Hakuhodo brush, which I just picked up from Hakuhodo USA. This is a G5518 brush. I forget what the actual name for it is. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at that. But it's like you can see it's a domed face brush, but it's very specific. So I'm going to use it for highlighter today. I'm just going to dip into you can use these pure color blushes, you can mix it together, or you can kind of do what I'm doing and separate the shades. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this highlighter side of it, and I'm really going to concentrate the highlight. I find with the Suqqu products, you don't really have to worry too much about that. Like, they're not super blingy, even if you use a dense brush. I don't get that kind of problem with them because everything is so fine in the way that they do it that you're not going to get, this, you can see it from outer space kind of look. That's just not their aesthetic. So it gives you a beautiful fresh highlight, but it's not so bright that you have to worry about using a dense brush like this. I'm also going to put a little bit into the brow area just for now. This is a great brush. This is very soft. Really like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take a soft, a more dense brush for the blush. And the reason I'm doing this, as soon as I find the brush, here we go. And the reason I'm using some denser brushes today is I want you to be able to see the color. The lavender. This is a Sonia G classic cheek brush. I tend to use a very soft brush when I do these looks because I don't like a lot of blush. But I think these are a little harder to see on camera if I don't build them up. So I want you to actually be able to see this lavender. Yeah, you can see it much better with this denser brush. This reminds me of a shade I used to have in the 80s. I had a lipstick that was this color, and it was a CoverGirl lipstick. Why I remember that, I do not know. But it was a CoverGirl lipstick, and it was lavender. And I loved it. I'm not sure it looked good on me. I'm not saying it did, but I gotta say, I did. I loved that lipstick. I used it until it was gone. So that's what the lavender looks like on me. And I am in natural light, so you should be able to see it, I think, pretty well. Like my skin is pale. You know, I'm definitely fair to light. When I was going out all the time and traveling, I would say it was more light, but you know, I haven't really been on the road, so I'd say it's definitely more fair to light now. It's a really beautiful lavender shade. It's, you know, very cool toned. Obviously, if you're looking for a warm toned blush, that is not it. The other one that came with it, with the summer collection, is in my other video. It's much like more peachy. But yeah, I think this is quite beautiful. It's actually pinky peachy. But yeah, I think that's a gorgeous, gorgeous look. And you have to say, like, the way Suqqu works, it just blends so nicely. Just really, really pretty. Okay, so let's do the eyeshadow quad. This is what it looks like. I will swatch it again for you. So you can see it. If this is your first time watching Suqqu or my channel, hi. And if it's your first time watching Suqqu, Suqqu is a brand that the aesthetics are softer. I'd say I always use the word like ethereal, regardless of the color story that they are working with. Everything looks beautiful on. You might first look at the color choices that they make and be like, those don't seem to go together, but they always do. They always make a beautiful look. So I've stopped questioning their pairings because it always works. As you can see, like this is a very plummy shade. This is a topper over here that's a beautiful lavender. And these shades in the middle are peachy pink shades. This looks like a satin. This has a little bit more shimmer to it. But, you know, I would not put peaches and purples together. Suqqu done that a couple of times, pretty sure. So I think it's a combination that they like. But I have to say, they haven't been wrong yet. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna take a very fluffy brush. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy 503. This is available as a singular brush now, which I am going to pick up. I'm going to pick up a couple of the singles because I think they're very good. If you're looking for a synthetic brush, I think these are excellent. And I'm going to do a very, very fluffy, that's why I'm using a fluffy, not dense brush, and take this deep shade and start with that. I've mentioned before, if you want to keep things lighter, do not start with the deepest shade in the palette. However, I would say that Suqqu especially, although pigmented, you can see like this is a pigmented matte. They're not super pigmented. Like you don't have to tap off your brush excessively like some other brands, which don't get me wrong, it's great when you have a super pigmented shadow. You don't want something that you have to, you know, strain your eyes to see. But this line, I think always has, like I said, a softness to it that, you know, I don't really have to be as concerned about laying on too much pigment at first. So I think it has, you know, just a beautiful ethereal quality to it. Does that mean you can't, you know, build it up? No, you can definitely do that. But I just look at that shade. Look at that. I mean, just that one shade. That's a beautiful purple. And plum purples are not easy to do, guys. A lot of times you look at purples in a pan and it looks pretty, and then you put it on your eye and not so much, not so much. Okay, so we're gonna take the what I'd say it's more of a pink peach shade, and I'm gonna put that on the eye. Now, when I use these quads in my personal life every day, and I'm not showing all of you, I will admit I tend to go more monochromatic. I tend to use the peaches with the peaches and the purples with the purples. That's just because that's kind of what I like. I don't tend to do contrasting colors. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. That's okay. You can use these any way you like. But I like to show you that you can use them all together, branch out a little bit, because frankly, what Suqqu does is kind of challenge you to do that. And I think you actually end up with looks that you're like, oh wow, it looks a lot better than I thought it would. That you would never do if you were just given a palette where all the shades were in the same hue. So I think Suqqu does kind of challenge my artistry a little bit, which I appreciate. Then I'm going to take an Angie Hot and Flashy. This is a 504. It's a very small brush, and I'm going to take that sparkly, it's more of like almost a pumpkin kind of shade. That I am going to tap off because I'm going to put it here more in the inner corner of my eye, and I don't want to have as much. There's not a ton of fallout, but you know what I mean. I don't want to. And I'm purposely kind of having it go on the lower lash line as well. So I'm putting it literally, you know, in the corner of my eye so it'll transfer to underneath. And then I'm just gonna lightly brush it onto the rest of the look. It's really pretty. It's really, really nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that deepest shade again. I'm gonna use the small brush, and I am gonna deepen out the outside of the eye. When you deepen up the outside of an eye, all you're doing is pulling the look outward. So a little bit of makeup 101 here. If you feel like you want someone who's looking at you, the viewer's eye, right, to look out towards here, if you want to make your eyes a little bit more almond, you want to pull the color on the outsides of the eye, whether it's on this side or this side of the eye, because you're going to pull it this way. If you're trying to make your eye look more round, then you're going to concentrate color to make it look more like a round shape. It depends on what you're looking for in the look and the way your eyes are shaped. I know some people feel like their eyes are too close together and they want to pull things outwards. Some people feel like their eyes are too far apart, so they, you know, concentrate more a deeper color on the inside. Depends on, again, on what you're looking for. But that's what color will do for you. A deepening on the outside does pull, as you can see, your eye towards this. Gives you that, you know, lift. I am going to do a little bit of a wing today, which I'll show you in a minute, because everybody seemed to really like the wing thing, which was funny, because I was like, if you're not familiar, I did one with the blue look, and everyone was like, I love the wing. I'm like, okay, I'll do another wing. I have nothing against doing a wing. It's not that. It's just, usually I'm doing makeup for work, and it's not really, the wing doesn't really, doesn't really fit. I'm just taking the deepest shade, concentrating it on the outer corner. Like that, just on the outer corner. I will have this on the upper part of the eye when I do the wing, but first I want to show you, I'm going to take that lid topper. One of the things about Suqqu is these lid toppers that they have. They look like sparkly and kind of like you swatch them and you're like, oh, it's not, whatever. Then you put them on the eye and they change the entire look of what you've put down. And I'm not exactly sure how that works, because when you swatch it, you're just like, oh, it's, you know, it's a sparkly shade. It's not that big of it, but it's really pretty. And it just completes the whole look. Like, obviously they planned it out really well. And I just gotta say, you know, my hat's off to Suqqu, because when I swatch the shades, I'm always just like, meh. I mean, it's pretty, but whatever. But then when you put it on top of the look, it just brings it all together. So yeah, I think this is very beautiful, very springy, very summery. I think it's just a stunning look. Okay, so the wing that I'm going to do, so this is a Suqqu brush. Suqqu is moving to synthetic brushes, and I think most of their brushes will be synthetic starting in 2022. This is a angled brush. I don't remember exactly what the name of it is. I will put it in the link below. I'm not exactly sure which the name of this is, but anyway, I'm going to put this in the deepest shade. And all I'm going to do, this brush makes this super easy, is go along the lower lash line. The upper lash line, like this. I have really long lashes, which is why actually doing a cat eye is actually more difficult, and I'll explain in a minute. But anyway, I need to pull my eye a little because I'm almost 50 and my skin is not super taut. And if you're the kind of person who has super taut skin, you don't need to do that because the skin will, you won't have a problem with it. The thing that I would tell you though, if you do this and you pull and you don't pull tightly the right way, the wing is going to look bumpy. Like you'll have shade and then you'll have skin, you'll have shade, then you have skin. So you have to make sure that it's done, well, like not so tightly that you're creating more wrinkles for yourself, but not so loosely that you don't get an actual line. And that's why I'd say it's hard for a lot of people to do. I get it. I am not the person to tell you that doing a wing is super easy because I don't believe it is. I think it is hard, and I think it takes practice. There are felt tip, and I'm going to get these, the ones from Dior, which are felt tip liners. They, I think, actually do make it quite easy to do a line, and I think these brushes make it quite easy to do a line, but I'm not going to argue that it's just super easy because I don't think it is. But a trick that I want to show you, and I lost my brush. Okay, here we go. I mean, it's not really, well, it is a trick, but it's not really a trick. So I've showed people this before, and you can use foundation, you can use concealer, you can use whatever you'd like. So you taking a little bit of the Suqqu foundation, and you take a brush. This is actually a really old brush I have. It's Chanel number 11, which I've had for years, literally, since I was a makeup artist, so forever ago. Anyway, and you don't put a lot on. But the thing about this brush is that you can flatten it so it has this flat edge, and you literally get a perfect line. Because when you pull the brush, that's all it's lined up perfectly. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a business card, you can use a piece of tape, you can use whatever it is you like. But when you use a brush like this, you just get this perfect straight line because the bristles are already, that's just, the way they are. Now, I like to tap afterwards because I don't like a super harsh line. So, I mean, you could do whatever you want. You can use a sponge. I just like to tap it out a little because I feel like a super harsh line doesn't look as good on me. There's your wing. Now, you can also do wings that go up towards your eyelash. You can do wings that go straight out. Mine are going more like this. It's whatever, you like. You can do more of like a flick. Anyway, so that's it. That's all it is. I don't have Suqqu mascara. You'd think I have an entire drawer of Suqqu, and I don't have Suqqu mascara. So let me curl my lashes, put on a little bit of mascara, and then I'll show you the lip gloss. And we're back. I love how mascara just changes a look. So I think this is beautiful. I absolutely love the eye look. As usual, Suqqu has done an amazing job. If you like purples and peachy pinks, right up your alley. Of the two, I like the blue greens more, but that's a preference thing. I still think this is beautiful. The combinations, like I said, aren't obvious when you first look at the palette. When I first look at this, I don't think, Oh yes, purple and orange, purple and peach, but honestly, absolutely stunning on the eye. I used all the shades. I think it's really, really nice. The lavender blush, I think, is really nice. I was a little worried that it was gonna look almost too much like a bruise, you know, because it's so cool. But I actually think they hit it perfectly. It's subtle, but it's beautiful. And the highlight in there is gorgeous. If you're looking for a cool toned blush and highlight, I definitely encourage you to pick that one up because, I mean, just stunning. And the formula in these is amazing. I've talked about that many times before. So the gloss, like I said, today we're going to use is the cooler one. This is not the green one. And I'm also going to show you the lip product that came, the other lip product that came with it, the lip fog. So let's first use the gloss just so you can see how it looks on the lips. I have nothing on my lips at all. Very comfortable gloss, just really easy. It's lightweight, not sticky, moisturizing, feels nice. I would say what it does is it gives a coolness, almost a lavender to your lips. So let's say you have a lipstick on that's a little too warm. It's over it, and I think it would absolutely cool down whatever lip look you wanted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on, and I'll take the lip gloss off. This is shade 109? Yeah, 109. This is the Comfort Lip Fog. This is not the Lip Glow. The other one's too warm that came with this. This is the 109. This is the cooler of the two. Usually Suqqu does that. There's one, like they do limited edition ones. There's one warm, one cool. Just make sure it's 109. Yes, it's 109. So let me take the lip gloss off really quickly and let's put on the 109. Okay, 109 going on. Love the applicators and the lip fogs. It's so easy to put it on. Okay. So I think you can see, although this is a cooler shade than the other one, let me pull out the other one, which was, what was it? The other one is more of a peach. That's the 108. It's 109. You can see the 109 has a cooler tone to it. Although they're both kind of cool. I guess I could have used this one too. It doesn't matter. I guess this one actually is a little bit warmer now that I look at it. It is warmer, but that's okay. That's all right, because I'll show you what the lip fog looks on it. So actually the 109 is probably a better look for this one. This 108 that I used is a little bit more brown now that I look at it. But anyway, doesn't matter. Really comfortable on the lips. It's the only like liquid lip that I like. It's not even really a liquid lip, guys. It is because it dries down and it does become more like a fog. In other words, it's like a soft matte almost. But it's not, it doesn't feel like a liquid lip. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. So let's take the gloss. Now we've got this purple gloss and I'll show you how it cools things down. So actually this is a happy accident. I used the wrong lip fog, but that's okay. There you go. See how it cooled it down? Not like drastically. It's not like a totally different shade now, but this has a coolness to it about it that it didn't have a minute ago. So I think this is gonna be, these glosses, the green one and the purple one are gonna be favorites of mine. Not only do I like the formula, I like the way the glosses feel, they're not too sticky or tacky, but also I think they can be used to change a look if you do what I just did and use the wrong number in a look that you were trying to do. So I really like that aspect of the product. I think it's excellent. So that is the products that I did not use in the other Suqqu video for the pre-summer collection. Again, I think the collection is really special. I love the sea glass that they've used that as a motif. I think it's just beautiful. I love this purple. This lavender is really unusual in regards to a blush slash highlighter. In the other blushes, the melting blushes that they have, the powder blushes, they have a shade that's also lavender, and it was 01. And so I think they do have these types of shades more than I've seen other brands do it, but if you look, there's definitely a difference. This one is almost like, when I called it lavender, but this is really lavender. This is more like plum. So this blush, this Pure Color blush, has more of that plum So a pink undertone, which is why I think I liked it far more than I thought I was going to. And this one is truly lavender. I just wanted you to see that. I think there is a real distinct difference. And when I put it on my finger, I think you can see. I have to tell you, I'm just going to be honest, of the two blushes, I like the formula of the melting blushes more. The melting blushes, in my opinion, are like the Chanel's of old. I think they're amazing. These blushes are also, the pure color blushes are also beautiful. I'm just saying, like, the melting blushes hand down are amazing. So this is the melting blush shade, that 01. You see how lavender it really is? And here's the new one, the 131. I just mixed it together. Can you see how it's actually more pink in comparison? I just wanted to make that, I wanted to note that because again, I keep calling this one lavender, but it's not really lavender, it's more plum. If I take the lavender blush and I put it back over this, I think you'll see, and I'm doing it like with a dense brush, right? I think you'll see on my skin tone, it actually looks, I don't like it as much. I think it makes me look a little bruised. Not bad, but it's too lavender on my skin because my skin's so pale. I think on a deeper skin tone, I think it will be stunning. But on my skin tone, I think it makes me look a little bruised, a little ashy. That's my take. I still love this, and I actually end up using it a little differently. I think you can see it definitely made it more grayish, more lavenderish, whereas this one was more plummy, and I like this one better. I think they're both beautiful. Color-wise, I think I can actually get away with both. But if you saw me here in person, you'd notice you're like, oh, your skin looks a little, like, I would prefer this shade, this lavender shade, and it's gonna sound a little weird, but I would prefer to take this and put it here. And that's what I tend to do with it because it's a cool toned, so it actually works as more of a creation of a shadow. And I think when I do that, it looks really nice. I don't like it as high on my cheekbones as this shade, which is, I'm just gonna brush off a second. This more purple plum, I think is better high. Now I have way too much blush on now, but that's about placement. That's what I was talking about, you know, about where you decide to put your blush. The lavender on me, because I am so pale, I feel like looks better almost as a contour of a blush, and doesn't look as good high placement or on the cheeks because of my coloring. Someone with deeper skin tone, it's gonna look very, very different. So, and again, they're both beautiful. And I think the melting blushes, the formula of the melting blushes is just out of this world. The formula of the pure color blushes are still far better than practically any other blush. So, you know, don't get me wrong, but the melting blushes, the formula, it's outstanding. Just the best. So anyway, that is the Suqqu Pre-Summer Part 2. Thanks so much for joining me. Oh, and hopefully it goes up. I'll make sure that everyone knows when I know. But it should be up April 21st, Harrods, Liberty, London. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon.